Hi students, today we are discussing flyweight design pattern in structural design pattern part 2. What is the main intent of flyweight design pattern? Today we are discussing. It is nothing ma. Use sharing to support large number of fine-grained objects efficiently. In the sense, we need to support here. We need to sharing there a large number of fine-grained objects. In the sense, it is used to create a large number of objects of almost similar nature. Like if we have to take for example angry birds, okay, efficiently. Okay, angry birds, one object if you have to be created, that object will create so many n number of objects. We need 1000 number of objects. They created 1000 number of objects. Likewise, it is used to sharing to support a large number of fine-grained objects efficiently. Okay, here in this concept, we are studied here large number of objects consume in the sense we need to store a large amount of memory. So here the flyweight design pattern provides a solution for reducing the load on memory by sharing the particular objects. So it is very used to reduce the number of objects whatever we need to create it and improve the particular performance here. Okay, so it reuses the already existing similar kind of objects, and we need to suppose it to create new objects when no matching object is to be found. Here we are studying two states, intrinsic states and extrinsic states. Intrinsic states in the sense it is very common to all the states in the sense that naturally belongs to the flyweight object and thus should be very permanent, or we can say internally it should be context free. Okay, intrinsic states are the constants and that are stored in that particular memory. Coming to the concept of extrinsic states, these are not constants and it needs to be calculated on the fly, so they are not stored in the memory. Okay, this is the main intent of flyweight design pattern. Coming to the motivation section here, we seen some of the applications, and then if you have to be clarity about that what is the main motto of this flyweight design pattern. See here, some applications could benefit from using objects throughout their design, but a immature implementation would be expensive. Yes, here we seen some applications it's very advantageous, it's very beneficial by we are supposed to sharing some number of objects throughout their design. So, but here a immature implementation, it should be very some cost expensive. So for example, here we are studying here document editor implementation. What editor? Document editor implementation. It have some text formatting Look at the diagram here. The diagram shows how a document editor can use objects to represent the characters here. Okay, listen, look at the diagram concentrationally, otherwise we can't able to understand what I am saying, these key points here. Okay, listen, here it face what here the document editor implementation, it have some text formatting and editing facilities, so that are very modularized to some extent. So here the object oriented, coming to the object oriented document editors typically use here what we are typically use objects. It comes under the category of object structural design pattern. That's why here we are typically use objects. We need to represent the embedded elements like look at the tables and figures, whatever it may be. They are very usually start of using a particular object for each character in the document. For each character in the document, even though we are embedding the elements here, it can be treated as uniformly equally with respect to how they are drawn and format formatting. So the application here, it could be extended whatever we need to support some new characters and also without disturbing the other functionalities. So here the application object structure, it could mimic the document physical structure, how the document structure physically it represented as. Okay, now here we are studying here the what is the drawback of such a design. It should be very cost expensive, even it should be moderate sized document structure, but it requires hundreds of thousands of character objects and which will store a lots of memory and may incur unacceptable runtime overhead. So the particular solution here of this flyweight design pattern is we need to describe how to share objects to allow their use at fine granularities without prohibitive cost. So here the main thing of flyweight, in the sense, a flyweight is a shared object that can be used in multiple contexts, more than one context simultaneously. So the flyweight acts as an independent object in each and every context. So it should be a distinguishable. Okay. Here, what are the key concepts? Already I say to you the key concepts. Intrinsic states, it's stored in the flyweight. It consists of some particular information that are very independent of the flyweight context, thereby it is very shareable. And coming to the extrinsic states, these are not constants and needs to be calculated on the fly. They are not stored in memory. Okay, and coming to the client objects. So here the client objects, it is very responsible for passing extrinsic states to the flyweight. Okay, it is very responsible for passing extrinsic states. In the extrinsic states, in the sense, already I said you, it's in Telugu bahya sthiti antamamma. Okay, extrinsic states, these states are to be the flyweight. For example, here we have to be considered here. Here look at one more example of this motivation section. Motivation section. Listen carefully, otherwise we can't able to understand. Here a document editor can create a flyweight. Yes, for each letter of the alphabet. Exactly. Here, so each flyweight stores a character code. Okay. The character code is intrinsic state, and while the other information is extrinsic. So here logically there is an object for each and every occurrence of a given character in the document. Here look at the diagram, column. And column have some 3 rows. In 3 rows, here look at this a diagram. It typically what it says to you, Listen carefully the diagram explanation. Here the flyweight model concepts are entities that are very normally to represent with objects. For example, a document editor can create a flyweight for each letter of the alphabet. Each flyweight stores a character code, but its coordinate positions, listen carefully, its coordinate position in the document and its very typographic styles. It should be a typographic styles. It can be determined from the text layout algorithms and formatting commands in effect wherever the character appears here. The character code or intrinsic states, and while the other information is extrinsic. Here we should see logically there is a particular object for every occurrence of a given character in the document. Here the row will contains one row will contain so many number of objects which will be created, character codes, apparent A P P A or E N T. Here look at this diagram. Physically, however, there is one shared flyweight object per character, and it appears in a different context in the document structure. So each occurrence of a particular character object, it refers to the same instance in the shared pool of flyweight objects. Here look at this this is look at shared pool of flyweight object. Here look at this diagram here, all of you. Column and row apparent is there. This is the nothing but some shared pool of flyweight object. Each occurrence of a particular character object, it refers to the same instance. It refers to the same instance in a shared pool of flyweight objects. Here look at below we are look at the class structure. The class structure for these objects is shown below. Glyph. What is a glyph? Glyph is an abstract class for whatever graphical objects present in the document structure, some of which may be a flyweight. We are used to sharing support some large number of objects granularities, fine granularities efficiently. So here the operations that may depend on extrinsic states, it have to be passed to them as a parameter. Okay, here look at the diagram here, all of you. This diagram shows to you, for example, draw and intersect must know which context the glyph is in before they can do their job. Okay. Here look at the diagram of glyph. Glyph is a class. The class have some operations and methods. Draw, intersection. It will be extended as row, character, column. Okay, he is the children of this. Glyph is the children of this column, and the relationship between here. Okay, here also some certain operations should be performed here. What this diagram explanation says to you in the sense, I can explain now. Listen carefully. Don't bother about that. Okay. A flyweight representing the letter A, small a, only stores the corresponding character code. So it does not need to store its location or front, and the client supply the context dependent information that the flyweight needs to draw itself. For example, here a row glyph. Here is there a row glyph. Glyph is a class. It knows it's an abstract class, okay, which are stored in the graphical objects, where the children should draw themselves so that they are tiled horizontally. Thus, it can pass each child its location in the draw request, because the number of different character objects is 4, less than the number of characters in the document, and the total number of objects is substantially less than what a Navi implementation would use. So a document in which all characters appear in the same front and color, same front and color. It will allocate on the order of 100 character objects thoroughly. The size of the ASCII character set. So regardlessly of the document length, since most document structure we use no more than 10 different font color combinations, so this number won't grow appreciably in practice. So an object abstraction, it becomes very practical for individual characters. Okay, likewise we have to be chosen. Okay, this is the class structure for these objects is shown. Glyph is an abstract class for graphical objects, some of which may be a flyweight. So here some of the operations that may depend on extrinsic states have it passed to them as a parameter. For example, draw and intersects must know which context the glyph is in before they can do their particular job. Okay, now we see what are the applications. What are the applications of flyweight design pattern? Here, if we have two applications when we are using the pattern of flyweight design pattern, the flyweight design pattern effectiveness, it depends heavily on how and where it is used. Yes, exactly. How and where it is used, it should be very effectively. Apply the flyweight design pattern when all of the following are true. Yes, an application uses a large number of objects. Yes, here if you have to take one application, this application can use a very large number of objects and its storage cost are high. Storage cost, it should be expensive, because of the sheer quantity of objects, because of the sheer quantity of objects. And coming to the most object state can be made extrinsic. Most object states, it can be made extrinsic. Extrinsic states are not constants and needs to be calculated on the fly. They are stored in a memory. Okay, and coming to the next key point, many groups of objects may be replaced by relatively few shared objects once extrinsic state is removed. In the sense, if you have to take so many groups of objects, if you have to make many groups of objects, it may be replaced by relatively a few shared objects once extensive state is to be removed. And finally, the application, it does not depend on object identity, since flyweight objects may be shared and identity test will return true for conceptually distinct objects. What that meaning? In the sense, finally the application does not depend on the particular object identity, since during the flyweight objects may be shared and identity test will return true for conceptually we are taking some distinct objects. In next class we seen what is the structure of flyweight design pattern, what are the participants, collaboration, implementation and related patterns. Okay, up to now, thank you, one and all.